Okay, Raindrops. We are in the presence of an icon. I'm talking about a reality TV legend. I feel like Jackie Christie, and this is my opinion, y'all could disagree if you want to. I think Jackie Christie is the most underrated reality star in the world. I don't think we give Jackie Christie her flowers. I don't think y'all give Jackie her flowers because me and Jackie are cool, and Jackie knows this. I am a fan. I've always been a fan. I got to meet you at the Next 15 premiere years ago. Remember, Jackie?
Oh my God. And our picture, I just love it. So when,
Yes.
you look the same, Carlos, the same.
No, you look the same.
From when you first walked up to me and introduced yourself and we started talking, I was like, oh my God, I adore this guy. I have to work with him. Like, everybody knows you're a reality star guru in the business, behind the scenes, and if you wanted to be on camera. So it was a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to sit down with you. And yeah, let's chop it up.
I cannot wait. This has been years in the making. And thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me. I adore you. I love you. Now, look, Miss Thing, you have a gorgeous face, honey. Why are these glasses on, child? What's going on, Jackie, honey?
Carlos, I've been fuming today. I've been running around getting errands done. Then I start fuming again. I got a wonderful project that I can't talk about now, but I'm giving you the exclusive. It's crazy. And the lights were in my eyes like all day shining bright. So I have no makeup on, just a little bit of shadow. So I was jumping in the shower. I'm not missing my sit down with Carlos. So they gonna have to do with these glasses, honey.
No, listen, we're gonna do what it do. So let's get started. I really would like to give you your flowers. You are everything.
Thank
you really are. Do you agree with me that when people talk about the greats of reality TV, Nene Leakes, Tiffany New York Pollard, Tammy Roman, do you feel like no one mentions Jackie Christie in the same breath?
No, Carlos, actually, I do hear it quite a bit. So I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm always hearing they should put her and Tiffany Pollard on a show together, and Nene Leakes and Jocelyn from Love and Hip Hop. They always name iconic people. But I feel like this, Carlos. I've never been one to like say, oh, here I am over here. I love doing what I do. I love being, inspiration to people. Reality TV for me has been something that's been going on a long time. Like I had a show before Basketball Wives, which was called Christie's Committed. And it was a family show, a little bit more wholesome, a little bit more about basketball and my husband and his transformation. And then when I got approached to come to Basketball Wives, I was kind of like, whoa, because I hadn't really watched Miami yet. So I went to a dinner with some of the Miami crew. I don't know if people remember that. And it was a test shoot out in somewhere in LA. And I was like, oh, I could do this. And it was like a bunch of women. And I'm thinking, so when I got on the phone with production, you know how that goes. They were like, Jackie, we want you to, pretty much head up the LA version, blah, blah, blah. You're married, you're infamous. Everybody talks about you and Doug. So I did it. And here we are 10 years later. And I love it. And yeah, sometimes I'll be honest, I'd be like, woo, why am I doing this? But I stick with it because it's my baby. And, it's something that Shawnie and I have been doing together for a long time.
Is there a Basketball Wives without Jackie Christie?
I would like to would think not, only because I've done it for so long, but I mean, anything's possible. And if they ever decided we don't want Jackie, or we think it's time for her to move on or whatever, I'm cool with that. Like, my husband has an amazing career with the NBA, of course, everybody knows that. And I support him. I travel with him and everything. And I'm tired anyway. So if they ever decided that, I would just go and do my own projects, but I would wish those ladies well and help them if I could, consult them if I needed to. But I mean, it is what it is. People say it ain't a show without me, so we'll see.
We're seeing that this season. You are the sheer definition of what I call a force multiplier.
Oh, thank you. I remember you said it wasn't one on our show, and my heart sunk. I said,
oh, see? No. So let me clarify what I meant by that. When it comes to Basketball Wives, I still have to remind myself that it's now one city, because I come from the old school of basketball. Listen, I am a fan since 2009, where it was Miami and then LA. So it's funny because I believe I was talking to DJ Richie Sky. And when I think about that show.
I love, by the way. Let me give him this.
Oh,
okay,
yes, no.
He ain't always easy on me, but I still think he's amazing. So anyway.
We love Richie Sky and the Sky Squad. So when I think about basketball, I was talking about Evelyn leaving, Tammy leaving, Shawnie leaving. Those are the Miami girls that I think about. But when it comes to LA, and now that this is now just one city, you are the force multiplier. You're the queen bee of the show. It is your show.
Thank you, Carlos. Wow, that's nice. That means a lot to me coming from you.
Well, but it's the truth. And Jennifer Williams is a good friend of mine, and I love her too. But I think we all can say, like, look, Jackie Christie keeps the party going. When you first started on Basketball Wives, you had your own show, Christie Committed. You decided to do this ensemble. What made you say, okay, let me do this? And on the first day of filming, we saw Malaysia and Laura Gavon fight in the LA version of the show. So what was going through your mind? Did you have regrets after saying yes? Or did you say, well, if this is what it's going to be, let me get my knuckles together?
I love it. You know what? It's funny because I'm going to clarify what happened. That was actually 3 or 4 days in the filming, but it showed on the first episode. So everybody feels like that was the first day. The first day we met on the rooftop and kind of all came together, was getting to know each other. That was a luncheon that we had that day when they actually fought. And I kind of was trying to, help them out. I was on the phone call because I was doing real estate back then, as far as us doing a property. So I was on the phone with them and I seen the commotion starting. So I get off the phone and I run over and I try to stop them before the fight starts. And of course, you know what happened after that. That's when I realized, okay, this is what an ensemble cast is all about. This is how it's going to go down. For me, I grew up with 5 sisters, so I'm used to the, woman and cat fighting and all that kind of stuff. And then I have a lot of girlfriends outside of Basketball Wives, and I'm always that person that tries to keep everybody at peace. Do I get on people's nerves sometimes? Yeah, because I'm a little bossy, but it's always out of love, Carlos. It's never at a, I'm better than you, or I'm bigger than you, or I'm this person, or that. It's never that. And most of my friends know that about me, but these girls, on Basketball Wives, we kind of butt heads a little bit because of that.
I want to hear you talk about who you are when you're in scene. And I want you to confirm or deny what I believe you do, because a force multiplier is someone that activates the scene and knows how to get things started and move story forward, right? In my opinion, as a huge fan of this franchise and of yours, when I watch Jackie Christie on Basketball Wives, I see you sitting back with your shades or no shades, and you look at your coworkers, the cast, and if a scene is let's have a real conversation. If the scene is boring, lackluster, nothing's happening, I feel like Jackie Christie knows how to bring up a topic, knows how to, poke the bear a little bit, because I feel like when it comes to you, in my opinion, I think you put the pressure on yourself, like, this show has to be great. And without you, the show can fall flat, because in my opinion, I think all the girls look at you like, well, Jackie, what do we do? And you know how to be present, to be funny, to activate, to get emotional, because you are, to me, the uncredited producer of the show.
Oh, first of all, I don't even know what to say. I'm smiling big because I appreciate that coming from you, Carlos, who everybody knows is behind the scenes of one of the most iconic shows out there. You know what I'm saying? But actually, when people ask me that, and I get asked this all the time, do you turn on for the cameras? Do you? And I promise you, what you see with me, and I'm telling you this, and I'm looking, okay?
Yeah.
It's honest to God, the truth. It's how I am, it's how I'm feeling. I go into scenes because, like, when they have scenes, for people that don't know, you get your schedule and you find out the week of, usually I'm shooting with this person tomorrow, I'm shooting with that person that day, whatever it is. And so when I go there, I'm really coming in open-hearted, open-minded. A lot of times I get caught off guard because these women have these secret little vendettas against me, and come and then in scene, it blows up, or they got some secret they've been holding on to, and now's the time to throw it on Jackie. Well, you're gonna get a natural reaction from Jackie. If you come at me crazy, I could be having as most fun with you, we laughing and talking, and I'm honestly there just being me, and then all of a sudden here you come with some shit, you're gonna have a problem. And so that's why people are like, oh my God, Jackie knows how to, it really be coming at me that quick, like from every different direction, every time I'm in a scene with these women, like in a group setting or whatever. And so what people see is what they get. I'm this way when I'm at home. My husband, him knows I'm a wild child, and I've been that way my whole life, Carlos. That's just Jackie.
Oh, I believe it. No. And I want to clarify. I wasn't saying you put on for cameras. I was saying, I just, when I watch you,
yeah,
I'm never bored with you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm never bored because I'm like, Jackie is going to have a Ponderosa.
No, I'm gonna have a Ponderosa because we need a Ponderosa after every scene. And coming up, I won't go into what the show is, but Carlos, you're gonna see we need about 10 more coming up for the next half of this season 10B. Oh my God, it's just now getting started. And the thing is, I tell these women all the time, if you got a problem with me, you know my phone number, call me. But they want to wait till we get in front of the rest of the women and then spring it on me. And then when I go off, if she's crazy and she's this and she's that, no, you where your ass show up, you get towed up. Period, point blank. That's it.
Well, let's talk about that. When it comes to Basketball Wives, you and Evelyn probably have had separately some of the most heated moments on that franchise. One of my, I'm a fan. One of my favorite moments of Jackie Christie in a heated moment has to be a couple of seasons ago. You're at this party, a gala or a banquet, or whatever you want to call it. You having a gold dress.
Yeah.
And Sunday Carter is there.
Right.
And Jackie, you're in your gold dress. You are screaming at the top of your lungs that you're hot, that you need to get out of this dress. Meanwhile, you also want to fight Sunday Carter, and you're rolling on the floor. You exit stage left. You ran out of the gala as if, you know, when Black folks see one person run, we all run. That's what you were giving, Jackie Christie. Talk to us about that moment before we get into this current season, because I really want to talk to you about the highlights of your career. And baby, that was your highlight.
I want to first and foremost set the record straight. The dress that I was panicking about was a dress that Angel Brinks, which is my baby, made for me. And she did not let me live this down, but we're good now. So I will say that. And it was tight. I was a little bit bigger than I was probably 15 pounds heavier. And I wanted this tight dress because Angel is everybody knows she makes the glitter dresses and all that. And she makes a really good dress. So it was a whole thing. If they watch the show, I put the dress on and I'm claustrophobic. So all of a sudden I panicked because I'm like, okay, I can't breathe. And I wanted it tight around my neck, but it was too tight. So I'm suffocating. I'm like, get the dress off, and nobody can see to make their damn fingers work to get this dress off of me. So if you know about claustrophobia, the more you think about it, the more panicked you are. So I'm like, wait a minute. And then Angel Love, which was another one of my sweethearts, who's not anymore, she came back in and she was smirking at me. And we had just gotten to like a little spat of words. So I thought she was coming to attack me. So I took off my shoes and I'm like, okay, get the dress off, because if she attacks me, I'm having a full-blown claustrophobic moment. It ain't gonna be pretty. So that's kind of what happened with the dress. And then when I ran out, I just needed air. So I'm getting outside to the air, wherever it is. And then Angel by then showed up and I was mad at her, and it just was a bad thing. But we've apologized, we moved forward, and I'll never do that again. I'll make sure the dress
Oh, honey, we want you to do it again. It was an iconic moment.
Oh my God, Carlos. And I was so embarrassed and humiliated because people around the world was like texting me and DMing me and like, are you okay? What was going on? And I was trying to explain. Some people thought I was pretending, but honest to goodness, I'm telling you right now exclusively, I had a serious episode. That wasn't good. That was not good on national TV. Do you know how embarrassed I am?
Were you more embarrassed when you got into an altercation with Brooke Bailey seasons ago? And when the cameras came back, Jackie, the hair was sort of all over. What happened between you and Brooke?
Okay, you want me to tell you, I told Brooke after the fight, I would never throw her under the bus. So I'm not gonna at this point. I'm gonna say two things. One is I never got beat up. Let me clarify that on Carlos King's show right now, ever. And not to say I'm a Billy Badass, but I'm saying that occasion on that specific time, that didn't happen. And I know a lot of people have been speculating for years. I've never wanted to talk about it because for one, I have love for Brooke and I have respect for Brooke. And when we got into it, my issue wasn't even with her. Me and Drea was going at each other, playing around in good fun, being catty with one another. Drea was dressed like me. I was dressed like her. Neither one of us knew, and production didn't tell us that the other one was going to do that. Because see, I kept it to myself that I was going to dress like Drea under my trench coat. When me and Brooke got into it, I felt like she was coming at me after her and Malaysia's issue. So it's like, you don't want this problem with me. And she's, you don't want it with me. And it got loud. So I turned to walk away, Carlos, and she came in my space and I automatically lost it. And I think BayBEE talked about it. The one from Love and Hip Hop, she actually explained what happened. I blacked out and went crazy. And
did you throw the first hit?
Yes. And it was very bad. And I cried harder after fighting Brooke than I ever have in any fight I've ever gotten to in my life, because I felt like this is my sister. This is somebody, when she came to the show, I reached out to her. I was like, I like you. We're in that same age category. You know, I really feel like she had a lot of passion. I felt like she would be great for reality TV at that time, everything. And I was like, let's, you know, we can develop a friendship if you want. If you don't, no problem. And I just felt like she had a thing with me, a vendetta to come at me, because at the time, this is what I'm thinking back then, I was leading the show and she felt like if I attack her, and that's what hurt me. And then to have to put my hands on her hurt me as well. But I mean, it was what it was. I called my husband and I was like, she made me do it. And he's like, no way. And I've never talked about this deep. He was like, no way, you know, did you, hey, why? And I said, because she walked in my space and all I could think was, here's a person that, you know, is very upset. She's very aggressive. When I'm aggressive, it's usually in retaliation to somebody coming at me. It's never as a provoking sort of way. So it happened. And, you know, I apologize. I got in a lot of trouble after that. I'll be honest with you. Production came to me in my next scene and said, Jackie, you cannot have any more fights, blah, blah. And I'll tell you what I told them. I've never talked about this. And I said, I'm gonna tell you like this. If Air BITCH step in my space, it's gonna be worse next time. So the best thing for y'all to do as production is explain to each and every one of these women where I come from and who I am. I'm not going for that. Tell them to stay in their own space. They can yell, scream, call me every bitch in the book. I don't care. But if they step in my space and I feel that there is going to be some kind of physical altercation, you already know what's going to happen. So if I need to pack my shit right now and leave and get in this car, you know, the cars they drive us to the scene tent, they going to take me home, lose my number, because I'm not going to stand around or I'm not going to fake with y'all, the network and nobody else, and let you think that this is going to be something that's going to be okay. I don't condone violence, but I will get real physical if somebody comes at me. I will, period.
With that being said, is that the reason why we did not see Brooke after that season? Because obviously, if we have to choose between Jackie, icon Christie, and Brooke, who's gorgeous, Brooke Baddie Bailey, we're gonna choose.
No, I actually don't think that fight had anything to do with Brooke not coming back. Brooke was actually in it with Drea. She was in it with a few girls. I think they just at that time was trying out different talent, and they felt like the group that they went with the next season fit better. I don't know the exact thing because I wasn't in production's meetings with it, but I was actually surprised. And I requested from production that same day. They were like, you don't need to worry about fuming with her. We understand that you're upset. I said, no, actually my heart is broken. I want to fume with her immediately. Like, can you get us a scene tomorrow? And they were like, no, we need to give you guys a few days to cool off. I said, I'm cool.
Right.
I apologize to this woman. If I never see her again, she needs to know that I'm sorry, for what I've done. And to this day, I have a soft spot in my heart for that with Brooke. And I try consistently. I won't talk about what happens on the second part of season 10B, but as you guys see, our relationship is tumultuous at times, but I mean, it is what it is. And I tell her all the time, I love you. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight anybody. Period. You know, I don't. Carlos, I don't. I swear. And I don't even know what to say, but people want to fight me. I don't know why. They do.
One of the things, I want to ask you this. Nene Leakes obviously is somebody I'm very close to, and she and I worked together on season 1 of Atlanta Housewives up until we both left the show. One thing that Nene Leakes always said to me and to the world in her Nene voice was, these chicks come on the show and got to have a problem with me because they want airtime. They know if they get into it with the queen, honey, then they more than likely will have some airtime and can get the peach. Do you feel like some girls have come on Basketball Wives and purposely poked you because they knew that it would at least give them some camera time and possibly the ability to hold the basketball in the main titles?
You know, being honest with you and keeping it 100, I do feel that way. I feel like there was a number of different women that did, and I always give them full warning prior to. When I see them start turning up, I say, listen, I know what you're coming to do, and I'm telling you right now, giving you full disclosure, don't fuck with me. Leave me alone, because I am your best friend or your worst enemy. So I take it and do what you will with it. And a lot of them was like, well, I'm going all the way. Okay. Well, you gonna go, and some of them say, well, listen, if you gonna go big, who bigger to go then come on. And they bring it, and you see what happens.
Hey, Brooke.
No, I'm
being silly. I'm being silly.
You know, it's funny because me and her, everybody has watched our evolution grow to where it is now. And like I said, I cannot talk about what happens in the future.
I know.
Nothing but love for her. I really do.
No, I'm being silly. We love Brooke. We love Brooke. I definitely think Sunday Carter was one of those girls.
Yeah, and Sunday's my best friend, one of my best friends in real life. Like, I love her. I was actually in it with Angel and Angel, not Sunday. But Sunday wouldn't get the dress off of me. She was there under my invitation, and she didn't want to because, remember, she wasn't on the show then. So she was like, I ain't coming on there, and I ain't on the show. And I was like, you coming to support your girl. Come with me. So she came, and then all hell broke loose.
Okay, Angel Love, stay back. Okay, so one of the things that we love Basketball Wives because obviously, and because you are a professional and you love supporting women, Shawnie, Evelyn, Tammy, and Jennifer set the stage for Basketball Wives to have a spinoff. Those ladies definitely, let's just say what it is. They set the stage, okay? When you look back on your time when Miami came to LA, because I have watched every episode. When the Miami Girls was officially integrated into the LA cast, you said something that spoke to me, and I was on your side when you said this. And I would like for you to clear it up for your fans too. You made a comment about, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it was alluding to the fact that these girls are coming on our show pretty much. Like, these Miami girls are coming to LA where we already established our sisterhood, right? And we have an establishment here. Jackie Christie and the LA girls, we know what we're doing here. And when the Miami girls came on, I felt like in the beginning, at least, it was sort of like this weird, who's in charge of the girls? Although we know it's Shawnie at the end of the day, we respect the creator and the EP of the show, but besides her, it felt like there was this push and pull about like, who's in charge of the girls? Like, this is my show. No, this is my show. Did you feel that way when the Miami girls immediately started to come in?
No, I didn't. And I never look at it as who's in charge and who's this and who's that, Carlos, because I feel like when I joined Basketball Wives LA with that cast of women, it was always just, this is what we're doing. We're from LA, we're doing this. I think Miami had gotten canceled by then, or if not canceled, it wasn't on the air anymore by the time LA came. So we were doing our thing. I welcomed them coming. I had been saying to production, I don't mind them guys coming. Let them come. You know, whatever. The more the merrier. We're all basketball wives in some sort of, you know, especially Shawnie, you know, Jennifer's been married to a basketball player at one point. Evelyn was with one for 10 years. So I was like, I think it would be a great little mix. Bring them in. I ain't tripping. I never cared about who they brought. Every season, production would kind of, I would sit down with the new girls coming in at some point early on. And it was, I think it was a vetting process just to see how they blend with us, how they mix with us. So that's what I did. I just did my job. I never got into who's who. Now, when I probably said that was when the issues started with all of us. And it was, you know, y'all and us. And I think that was more my castmates having an issue with them being there and me just saying, listen, you know what I mean? Once the words start going, look, we was already here and y'all is coming over, but we're all one family, but let's not start making it a ours and yours and you and that. Let's do our thing. And whatever that is, if the stories intertwine, they do. If they don't, they don't. So I think that's how I managed to move through the whole thing, the integration of LA and Miami coming together as one. And people have come, people have gone. I'm still here. And, you know, I welcome whoever. If they want to come back, pop on back. You know, it's a show, I think, for basketball wives and girlfriends. And hopefully we move more into that, where it's more about our life, because I am married to a real basketball player, commentator, and now coach. So I know the basketball world, the NBA, like the back of my hand. I've been around it for 30 years, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of hard when I see it being portrayed sometimes in a way that isn't conducive to how I live my life on a day-to-day basis, Carlos. So that's where I think I was coming from, was listen, not only am I a real basketball wife, like for real, I live and breathe this and my family is a basketball family. Please don't try to take away who I am and what I bring to the show, because that was the reason I agreed to do the show, is because that's who I really am. And I'm going to show you my real life.
Yeah, no, I agree. And listen, well, before I move on to the next one, without naming names, if you don't feel comfortable, there's some of the Miami girls come in with an ego that you may have felt that way in terms of coming into the LA territory.
No, I actually don't feel like that. I feel like Tammy, I was excited. If everybody go back to the, you know, episode where she came on that first day, I'm yelling and screaming, Tammy, hell yeah, let's go. Here's some new energy. Here's some spicy energy. Here's some passionate energy. Like myself, I know a lot of people felt like when Evelyn came, I didn't want her there. I just didn't want that issue that we were going through at the time to be our friendship. If we're going to build a friendship, let's build it on us and not what you heard or what's going on, you know, on the internet with all that with my daughter. And we ended up building a great friendship. That's my girl to this day. As far as Shawnie, it's always been Shawnie and I, you know, even when the show's not humid, we're hanging out in the summer, you know, at least grabbing something to eat, catching up. And that was before she even joined the show. So I have nothing but respect for those ladies. Now, if I get into an argument or an issue, even now today, with particular women that was from the Miami version, and they're throwing it out there like, well, I came from the Miami version. Well, then I'm gonna set you straight. I'm gonna let you know, I don't give a fuck where you came from. I came from the Christie's committee first, before basketball wives. I was actually, Carlos, here's something else that people don't know. I was actually interviewed by Dick Clark Productions with Jimmy Jackson's wife and some other young ladies. We got flown down. My husband had a back issue at the time. He was still playing. He had just gotten, anyway, he came, he stayed in the limo outside, and we went in for this interview, audition, whatever. And we're in the boardroom at Dick Clark Productions for a show just like Basketball Wives. This is before I got invited to Basketball Wives. And they were like, we want to do this. You guys are our wives, blah, blah, blah. One of the wives, I won't say a name, got on the table in this boardroom with all these executives and producers and start gyrating and everything. Oh yeah, oh, it was off the chain. When I tell you, I ain't never seen nothing like that. So I'm like, whoa. And they was like, we picking the show up. So blah, blah, blah. We were, in the next 2 weeks, contracts were supposed to go out. I got a call from one of the people creating the show and said they've decided that there's another show that is already greenlit that's similar. So they're gonna stop with this. I was like, no problem at all, I don't care. I was in LA at the time producing other shows for Young Hollywood. I did a show called Real Teens of Hollywood and some other ones with my daughter. And so Next thing you know, Basketball Wives called about a year later and was like, we're doing this and we want you to be a part of it. And that's how that all happened. So when people start throwing that in my face, it's like I did Christie's Committed before Basketball Wives, and they were in the arenas. They were filming wives and girlfriends and my lifestyle. So don't act like nobody started this for me. I was already doing it. And then Shawnie's show, which I'm so proud of her, she's done a great job with Basketball Wives, being an executive producer. She continues to be executive producer. I think it's fucking phenomenal. And I love my girl, you know what I mean? And I'm going to support her in any kind of way I can. So as long as they want me to be a part of Basketball Wives, and if they feel I'm the leader or whatever, that's fine. I'll assume that role.
You are the leader, Jackie. You know that.
Thank you.
Jackie, it's let's call it what it is. I would like to have you answer this. Shawnie O'Neal created Basketball Wives. She's the executive producer. There's been great things said about Shawnie O'Neal as a boss. There's been some not so great things people have said about Shawnie O'Neal as a boss. The not so great things that people have said were, it's difficult to be on a show with a woman who's not only an EP, but also a cast member. Is difficult because we don't know whether or not we are going to be thanked for our services and get on the unemployment line with our pink slip and having to, fill out an employment application, right? Did you feel that way working with Shawnie, or was your experience different?
Yeah, no, Shawnie, first of all, she's a sweetheart. She's not in, when she said that, and I think she's clarified it before as well in some interviews and stuff. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she wasn't saying, thank you for your services, you're fired, when she said that to Brandy. She was just saying, well, thank you, because Brandy was saying, I did this and I did this and I did this. So that's what it was. And then it just took off. And the world assumed she was saying, thank you for your services because of the, coincidence of how it came out and when it came out. And then you didn't see Brandy anymore. I feel like Shawnie is like I am. You poke the bear, you're going to wake him up, and then it's going to be a problem. He's going to come out of hibernation. So that's kind of what happened with that. As far as working with her, no. And me and Shawnie have had words before, but I respect my friend and I think she respects me. And one thing about me, I don't care if you're the CEO, the garbage man, whoever, I treat everybody the same with respect. And if it's a producer, I understand my role. I'm talent, okay, that's cool. But disrespect is not going to be tolerated from anybody. And if I ever felt I got that from whoever in the production line or executive producer line, we're going to have a conversation. First and foremost, I'm going to try to speak to you in a very respectful way. And if I feel you continue with that, well, then we're going to figure out different methods of resolving our working relationship or whatever it is. I've never seen that side of her. I've never felt uncomfortable. I'm going to do me, regardless who's sitting across from me. It could be the head of whatever network. You're going to get Jackie Christie.
I love that. Okay, we got to get into you and Evelyn. Jackie Christie.
Yes.
Your second best moment, in my opinion, on Basketball Wives. Because Evelyn is one of the greatest reality stars ever.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
thank you, because that's my girl. And
listen, I've already gave you flowers. Evelyn is a formidable player, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
When you and Evelyn had that altercation at the restaurant, I know you two have moved past this, and I'm happy to hear that. In that moment, though, obviously the whole Build-A-Bear comment happened about her child, her daughter, grown daughter. Oh. It wasn't a minor. And we saw this battle of the Titans. Because one thing that I think me and the fans felt about Evelyn, although we love her, we felt like, Evelyn, pick up somebody your own size. Like, we wanted Evelyn to meet her match. And BayBEE, Jackie Christie was the match, the blade, and everything else in between. When y'all had the altercation, it got so heated that Miss Thing, Evelyn, was slamming her hand on the concierge / valet person stand you had to be held back by, of all folks, Miss Tammy, honey, had to hold you back. Like, what are we doing here? It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Going through that moment, though, at that time, did you black out? Because I've never seen you like that. And what was crazy is I've never seen Evelyn like that. And I felt like for the very first time in Basketball Wives history, we had two force multipliers about to handle some business.
You know what, Carlos? That is an amazing question. Sometimes when people ask me, I say, you know what? I don't even want to discuss that because me and Evelyn's friendship has evolved so far. And I really love her like a sister for real. I've never had an issue with Evelyn. I want to be clear on that, ever. I just felt like at the time when all this was happening, you know, and I really look back and I think maybe there could have been some innocence in that. I don't know. I'm not going to put words in her mouth. But the way it was all unfolding, I was upset. You don't mess with a woman and her kids. And I just feel like she was passionate, I was passionate. Here you've got a woman being accused of a lot of bogus things that wasn't happening. I didn't want to throw the show under the bus. There's a lot of things I could have proved that I chose to just be quiet. And I took the wrong path, I think, and I'm saying this for the first time, in not speaking up for myself, not getting on the internet and doing a full-blown video like I see a lot of people do when they're accused of something that's just not happening. And it used to hurt my heart. I would lay in the bed and cry at night, like, you know, and hide my face from my husband because I didn't even want him to know what the extent of this evil injustice that was going on against his wife, because I knew the first thing he was going to say was, enough is enough. You need to not do that show. And I knew that maybe this will be a way for me to show other mothers or other reality people that might go through something like this. So I always live by example, and I always try to be a motivation and inspiration to people. And I didn't know, I just prayed to God because I said, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm going to be honest. I'm gonna be truthful. I will never throw my daughter under the bus. I love my baby that's my firstborn. I love her with everything I am. I do this for my children. I work for my kids. So it just felt like, you know, when she came at me, it was like, damn, I have nothing else I can do but, you know what I'm saying, defend myself. And so how it came out was honest to God, how I felt, whatever it was gonna be. And I never wanted to get physical with her. It was just getting to the point where I could feel that was what was going to be the next step, because I'm not going to back down, especially when I'm right about something. Usually, I'm not saying I'm not wrong about little things here and there, but I wasn't wrong about that. So it was like, no, you back. And I said some hurtful things to her. I've apologized a million times. I'll say it again on your show. I should never have even said that, but I felt like my kid was involved and things was being said. So I just wanted to hurt her by saying some, and it was wrong. And I'm sorry to this day. And I would never do that again.
Well, that's the reason why we all love you, Jackie. You don't have a hater, at least from what my vantage point is, because one thing about you own up to stuff, you apologize immediately, and you move on from it. And that's why we love it when you have a Ponderosa and you talk about a sisterhood, because we know that at the end of the day, you do want to rally the troops and have everybody get along for the sake of sisterhood. One more moment, then we'll move on to this current season. You and Malaysia. Who is like your little sister.
Yes.
And I love me some Malaysia as well. And she's also a great star in her own right.
Yeah.
I want to say it was two or three seasons ago, Jackie, at the skating rink when y'all all had on a costume, and you and Malaysia went neck to neck, nose to nose, lip to lip, eyebrow to eyebrow, eyelash to eyelash for a good 10 seconds. And in that moment, this is what I thought. I said, Jackie loves Malaysia because Jackie will never allow anyone to have that close contact for 10 seconds. I said, they both love each other. They both don't want to go there. And that to me was the moment I realized this is really big sister and little sister having a moment that will be handled the right way. Take us back there in terms of your highlight reel. What was going on through your mind? Did you think like, am I gonna have to like take this girl and like run her around like a bowling ball?
You know what was going through my mind, Carlos, was oh my God, this is like my little sister. What is going? I wanted to go to the bathroom first and foremost, because I done been sitting outside in that damn car, and you know how you come, the cast shows up and you sit there for a minute. So I'm drinking wine coolers. I'm having a good time. We about to go in here and roller skate. I ain't skated in a long time. We gonna have fun. So I was totally caught off guard when she walked up to me and started going, friend. And then it's like, okay, hold on. Once I heard the friend for the third time, I know Malaysia. And I said, hold on. This is a tone of more aggression, but I still let it slide. And remember, I started joking with Evelyn, and she was like, it ain't no joke, blah, blah, blah. Let me see your eyes. So I took off my glasses. Here's my eyes. Can I go to the bathroom? And at that point, it all went left because she was, no, you ain't going nowhere. So that's when I said, okay, this is serious. Sober up, because listen, and I never, ever want to put my hands on these women. Let's be clear with that. But I was asking her to stand down. Let me go to the bathroom. Stand down, Malaysia. Look me in my eye and understand that it's real. Once we go there, we're never coming back. Like, that was a situation where I felt like not only is it dangerous, but you and I talked on the phone that morning. We talked on the phone weeks leading up to that. If you knew you had a problem, why didn't you just call your girl? So I felt like it's a setup. Now I'm in defense mode. Now somebody gonna get laid down up in this skating rink. And that's what I felt. And I was just hoping that it could just be diffused so that it wouldn't have to go there, and it just got out of hand. So, and to this day, I have nothing but love for my girl. She knows I love her to death.
Since then, Malaysia has quit the show.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched it, I was like, oh, Jackie had no idea this scene was about that.
Mm-mm.
You looked shocked and disappointed, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. When Malaysia told you that she pretty much was quitting the show, how did you feel about that? And did you feel like, wow, this show may suffer because Malaysia is a huge part of Basketball Wives?
I was only thinking about the fact that this is my girl. I had knew that for a while. She was feeling like, maybe, I don't want to be around these women. We're not getting along, whatever. But as far as her actually leaving, that was surprising. That was shocking, because when production told us, Malaysia and you guys are going to film, Malaysia has something she wants to share with you. We don't have no idea what it is. So yeah, it all unfolded in front of the world. And it hurt my heart, because it's like I had been trying to rectify the situation with her and the other ladies for a long time, as you guys seen it play out on there. And I was away. I was at my husband's event that he had with the NBA. So I missed that party she went to for Jennifer's hair thing. And all of them were kind of going against her and the other young lady, Ashley. So when that happened, I think that was a big sticking point for Malaysia. She felt double teamed, and she felt nobody had her back, type of thing. And my whole thing was, well, you didn't tell me you were even going, with this girl, Ashley. Had you waited for me to come back, it wouldn't have went down that way. So all that was going through my mind, like, my friend is really like leaving. Like, what are we going to do? But, she did go on to say, you never know what the future holds. So we'll just leave it like that for now.
Do you feel the loss of Malaysia?
I do, but I also know that her mental health, like she explained to me, I asked her one night, just between you and I said, Malaysia, I really feel like there's a way to make this work. And she said, my mental health is more important to me than anything. Jack, I love you, sis, but please let me do what I need to do. And I had to respect that. So I had to say, okay, I had to come to terms with this ain't for Malaysia right now. Maybe in the future, who knows? But if it's not working, then don't force someone to stay, because I would never forgive myself, Carlos, if she stayed and things didn't go well. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are burnt out. Sometimes they're tired, and I feel like Malaysia's at a point right now where she's figuring it out. So we should let her do that.
No, I agree with that. If you're not mentally there to do the show, I could not, as a creator, owner of a company and producer, I definitely agree with that. What do you say to people who feel, because we only are basing off of what we saw.
Yeah.
We know that filming lasts hours that we don't see.
Yes.
Obviously, the last thing we saw was Jennifer revealing that Malaysia allegedly house was in foreclosure. And then the next time we saw Malaysia, she quit. What do you say to people who feel like that's why she quit the show, because of this foreclosure comment?
I would just say, and not putting words in Malaysia's mouth, is Malaysia was leaving for her mental health. I think that might have been one of the straws that broke the camel's back, so to speak. And she just was like, okay, enough is enough. But I think her mind pretty much was made up a little before that. I could be wrong. It would be good probably for you to have a sit down with Malaysia to find out exactly what her mindset was. And but I really feel like that was something that I had no parts in. I didn't know about it. British and I had done a scene at one of my real estate locations prior to that, like a couple days before my Ponderosa. And I did ask British, what is it that Jennifer and the rest of the people want to say? And she said, I'm going to wait and let them. And I said, yeah, just wait. So that was everything that they seen was 100% authentic and honest to what happened. So sitting there, I wasn't expecting that either. When I was saying, talk about it, open your mouth, I'm talking about the table throwing in Amsterdam and all of that. Like, if that's your issue with my friend, Jennifer, y'all need to talk about it because you're also my friend. And I just, Ponderosa is for everybody to put their issues on the table. Let's hash through it. It's going to be a hard conversation that we need to have. But guess what? We're going to leave here toasting and tighter than ever. You know, the sisterhood going to be stronger than ever. And that was the first Ponderosa that did not work out at all.
Jackie, do your Ponderosas be working out, girl?
They do. And you know what? I'm telling you, when I actually launched the first one on their podcast, and it was a Ponderosa with all the women, we got along. It was a situation where Jennifer went at me and told me she had been upset with me with some stuff. I hugged her and told her, I apologize. I love you.
That's
her
true.
And Cece worked it out. You know, her and Cece had a problem. They worked it out. And that's how it normally is. So I'm thinking we're going to put everything on the table. I have been hearing that the women said I was bored, and I'm going, me, of all people, we're going to get to that. And listen, that took a back seat to all this foreclosure business, honey.
First of all, we got to talk about this. I screamed at the TV because you would have thought someone called you a stank bitch. The way you reacted to being called bored. Jackie Christie, why was the board comment the
Carlos, I have never been insulted and just misjudged and misunderstood like that before. I said, wait a minute, you call me a lot of shit, but you cannot call me bored. I wish I was bored. Okay, I don't have 5 seconds in the day to do the stuff for me that I need to do. I ain't had a massage in a month. I ain't been able to go do the stuff Jackie want to do because I'm running companies. I'm running a whole corporation. I'm making sure my husband's stuff is right. I'm traveling with him. I got so much, not to mention I'm doing this show and dealing with you bitches. So how am I bored? Okay, you just coming up with shit now. So we got a problem. I couldn't believe it. It was the most distasteful thing I'd ever, ever.
We're watching this season, and first of all, I just want to say I do love the cast. So, because a lot of people like Carlos being shady, I'm not being shady. As we're watching this season, a lot of people, I may be one of them too, feel like Brandy, and me and Brandy have spoken before, and I do love Brandy. Brandy is a lot this season. Brandy is a bit aggy this season. Based on what we're seeing, see, I want to give people the respect that there's hours of footage that we don't see. So based on what we're seeing, Brandy's annoying. And I think...
You think so? Brandy? Oh my God.
And I love me some Brandy. She's so beautiful. Brandy is gorgeous and I love her.
She is.
Based on what I'm seeing, and that's why I'm glad to have you, Brandy is annoying. And she's aggy. And we'd be like, Brandy, shut up and just sit back and enjoy the scene. She gets into it. Duffy, I actually like Duffy. I think Duffy is a real girl who's like, I want to turn up if I have to. I love her personal story with her her husband and her child and wanting to be a female DJ Khaled. See, I watched the show. I love well, I don't love what Brooke's going through, but I love seeing Brooke's personal story. Brandy gets into it with everybody, so you're there. Is Brandy annoying?
You know, Brandy is, first of all, I adore Brandy, and I don't think she intentionally does anything to be annoying or anything like that. She, to me, I'm gonna be always 100. The thing that annoys me is when we're in a group setting, like at my Ponderosa, and I'm talking and trying to get the women together, and she's going, Jackie, no, that shit bothers me. Now, that's the one thing, but I tell Brandy this to her face. That's the only thing she does that to me is like, fuck up. like, girl. But at the end of the day, I think she has a big heart and she loves everybody and she's trying to keep the peace. And her way of doing that is just sometimes can be overwhelming. But no, I think that I asked the honest question, do you guys feel that I get in your business? And then she said, I do. I think you do. And I'm like, oh, mother, wait a minute. My phone
You
is
sound
weak
just
when
like it when
cameras
you
ain't
say,
fucking rolling because of y'all.
Wait, Jackie, do that one more time. Cause I know you're an actress. You let all of us know you're an actress, darling. Can you do that one more time? Because I really thought I was talking to Brandy. So do it one more time. Cause the spirit of Brandy came through. You are a great actress.
No, really, that's the only thing I can say. As far as Brandy and the rest of the girls, Carlos, I feel like Brandy is amazing. I think she's great for the show. I think her story is awesome because not only is Brandy in a relationship with her husband who used to play basketball, he's on a journey to hopefully become a coach someday. She's got her son. She opens up a lot. Her journey is interesting to me. I think Brandy is great.
I do too. Brandy, I love you. And you know that. Brandy, again, it could be what we're seeing, but I'm gonna need you to pipe down, Brandy, to notches. It's too much. And I'm just gonna be real. I'm on Duffy's side. It's like I can't do nothing.
And Duffy is my boo thing. Now, Carlos, when I tell you Duffy is the real business, let me tell you about this girl. From the time she came on the first time, I always thought Duffy brought a rawness and an energy, and she's different. She does have her fiance who is a sports agent. She has a tie into the basketball world, but she also brings something different because she's also on the music side. But her passion and her ability to just be Duffy, and she's like the sunshine that lights up all the rooms. I fuck with in, out, and round and about. When I tell you that's my girl, and I feel like you can sit down with Duffy and you can give her constructive criticism, and Duffy gonna say, oh, okay, and try to figure out how to fix it. Where some ladies, and I'm not naming no names on this cast or other, it's gonna be a problem. You gotta be ready to damn near restrain them with a chokehold because they gonna act a fool. But with Duffy, it's more like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know I was that way. We have conversations on the phone. Me and her, we could talk about whatever. And she'd be, Jackie, what do you think about this? And with Duffy, and it's easy with her. It's easy to be friends with her. It's easy to be sisters with her. I'm rooting for her. There's a lot of great things coming up on part 10B, Carlos, with Duff. And I love it. I think she is due this. And I think regardless if she does Basketball Wives or another show, Duffy is made for television.
She is. No, I am enjoying Duffy this season. And I love Brandy. I need Brandy to pipe down. Brandy, I know you're watching. I love you, sis. Pipe down. Just in the words of the gospel greats, pick your battles, honey. In the words of Yolanda Adams, the battle is not yours, honey. It's the Lord's. Okay? Not every battle, Brandy, is meant for you to pick on, child, because we're tired. Okay. Now,
but I mean, in this day, we have and you. I don't think you knock anybody. I know a lot of people was like, "Ooh, Carlos is hardcore," even though he's a reality star guru and he done made a lot of people's careers. He be going hard on people. I don't feel that. I feel you are really, honestly speaking, from not only a viewer standpoint but a professional standpoint.
Thank you.
I really think that. I do.
Thank you, and that's why I love you, because the intention is that I'm not messy for the sake of being messy. Yeah. My strong opinion comes from my expertise, and it's to help people. So I appreciate that. And that's why I'm saying, Brandy, it's not shade, it's me helping you. The battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. Okay, moving on from that, Jennifer Williams is my friend. She's my baby, and I love her. Now, Jackie Christie. Never in a million years, before I get into what just happened, I never thought that my faves, Jackie and Jen, J&J, would get into a TKO. I never thought it would happen. So I need to know what was going through your mind, because I think you are a comedian. When Jennifer had her fashion show, let me tell you how funny you are too. I think you are a genius in comedy. Jackie, the fact that Jennifer was walking in LA Fashion Week with her new hair bundles line, right? And Jackie Christie goes, I was going to be there anyway because I'm on the red carpet. And if you girls want to go, I could get y'all on the red carpet. And I'm like, okay.
I was serious, Carlos. I wanted to help them and I wanted to help Jennifer blow this up as big as we could. She was going for research. It wasn't her fashion show. So she can't be sitting here like, oh, she was going for research and I was taking them guys to be on the car. I've shown at LA Fashion Week. Everyone knows that many times. But let me just say this. Without giving away the second half of the season, I don't have nothing but love and respect for all the women on the show and off the show, all the prior ones and all the ones to come. And I was doing that in good fun. People say, oh my God, you're funny, you're this. I really was serious when I walked. I didn't know that Jennifer was walking. So I'm asking,
Jackie,
well, really?
Jackie Ponderosa Christie, you're going to sit up here.
I'm telling you.
In your sexy specs.
No, the production is good. The editing is good because when she said that, I didn't hear her say this. And that's on God.
I'm not going to, okay, no. I can believe that. Because I know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that you are there to be you, I believe you did not hear Jennifer when she said she was walking. Mm-hmm. I believe that. Now, yes. Jackie Ponderosa Christie, you and your LensCrafters is not going to sit up here and tell me, Jackie, that when Jennifer was walking down the runway and you walked next to her, you did see her, right?
Oh, yes. I did that on, let me tell you, Carlos, I love it. And these is Gucci, by the way. My husband bought me on the road. But anyway, listen, Carlos, when Jennifer came out, I told Brooke, and if Jennifer walked out on this stage, I'm walking with her. I was so excited because if you recall, they even showed before she left, she said, I'm about to go backstage. She didn't tell me I'm going backstage and walk. So I said, well, bye, girl. I'll see you when you come back. So then inadvertently, it got to me that she was going to walk. They didn't know. I didn't know. So Brooke and them is like, yeah, girl, you didn't know. I'm like, if she walk out on this mother stage, I'm gonna walk with her. But I'm gonna be honest, I was being very catty and very mean to Jennifer that day because the day before, 2 days before she went to my real estate listing, I was shadowing Ty, who is amazing with what he does. And that was a $2.3 million house, by the way, that she was calling a dump, or 3.3 or something. It was in Beverly Hills, right, where she likes to live. So I'm like, okay, Jennifer is my girl. We talking on the phone 10 hours a day, da. I'm exaggerating that, but 2 to 3 hours a day. And we're laughing and talking. So I'm like, well, come follow me, shadow me, and watch and see how I do. I actually was showing it to Tori Hart, which they edited out. So it was an amazing time that Tori and I had where I shared why I do real estate in the first place. And
I'll be honest, Tori.
Thank you. I love Tori. And it was very emotional for me because I'm going to let you know, Carlos, I don't know if it even aired or if it's going to air on my podcast, but where I talked about, I do this for the low income. I don't have to do real estate. I choose to do it because I want to help people that can't get into houses, to show them different ways that they can afford, because be honest, especially African-American, but not only that, Latino, different groups are not afforded to live in a home. They are in apartments. They're paying $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 a month on rent. No, let me show you ways that you can be buying, you can be owning for generational wealth. So that's why I got into real estate. Me and my husband have done 16 properties. Most of ours, they were for us to keep. I bought 4 rentals. I rented it out to family members for 10 years, showed them how to make sure they paid, all of this. So it was a whole reason behind it. Well, after that scene, they only edited and showed me and Jennifer talking on the couch and made it look like I was saying, oh, I showed at LA Fashion Week. That wasn't even it. That was a small portion of the scene. So Jennifer called me that night and was like, girl, I don't know what kind of dump that was. Why the fuck they have you in that shit? They wouldn't do that to the white girls. So when she said it, it hurt me. Where I messed up, Carlos, is I didn't tell her at that moment, Jennifer, what you're saying to me hurts my feelings. Because for me, it's a whole emotional thing with real estate. I'm not doing this for more money. Okay, I'm doing this because I want to help people. So I felt like, damn, whenever I'm doing something, nobody's here for me. But when y'all is doing something, I'm celebrating, I'm cheering you on, I'm hollering, whatever it is. So then we did the fashion event. So I went there upset still. And that's why I was being catty with her. fucking with her. Let me show you when you do something, I could be a little sick bitch too. And that's why I did that.
So when you two had that sit down after the fashion that we saw in the episode, I have never seen Jennifer get out of her seat.
Oh, I can't even talk about when that happens. Monday, I think that's coming on Monday. You guys got to tune in. Ooh, baby. She do get out of her seat.
Did you activate Jennifer?
Let me say, ooh, I can't wait for people to tune in for that and then more coming up. You guys, it all unfold. The next, it's just getting started. And like I said before, I have talked to Jennifer countless times. Me and her was building amazing friendship. I ain't gonna say where we are right now because people gotta watch the show, but I always do everything out of love. And I've always told her, you gotta stand up for yourself, especially in this reality TV game. And I'm not trying to take credit for that. And I know that's the first thing she's gonna holler in, don't take it. But I told her, even if it's with me, if you have an issue with anybody on the show or outside of the show, speak up, talk about it, explain yourself. So that's where I think me and Jennifer's relationship and friendship is right now.
It's interesting you say that because we have seen this season. I mean, Jennifer stood up to Malaysia. Jennifer definitely is standing up to a lot of people. Would you say your conversation with her helped?
I would definitely say that. I would. And one thing about me is I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be Billy Badass. If I'm wrong, I'm the first to say, Carlos, Jennifer, whoever it is, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Let me be better. No matter what it is. But in certain situations that's going to happen as we go out this season, you will see. And people have to hold themselves accountable. People have to be better. I'm always trying to be a better person tomorrow than I was today. I'm gonna be better tomorrow after this conversation because you got me heated and I should be talking about a lot that I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna be better for the next interview because then they ain't gonna get half of what you want.
Well, that's because we're friends in real life and we love each other and I got you. So before I let you go, and thank you for allowing me to give you your flowers because it is well deserved. And one thing people know about my podcast, and this is no shade, I only talk to people I want to talk to. And I only talk to people who I feel like are at the top of their game. And you have been for so long. And I think you're just, I really want your name, at least when people talk to me, I'll say that much. I want them to continue and start continuing as well, mentioning your name as one of the greats, because to me, you're one of the greatest reality stars in the world. You really are. And I know this interview is going to shine a lot of light on your personality, your career, and your love for the genre of the show. But before I let you go, we've had Miami. We've had LA.
Yes.
Icons on both. If Jackie Christie was able to star on an all-star Basketball Wives cast, if we had the all-stars version of Basketball Wives, including the Jackie Christie, who is Jackie Christie's dream cast to be with?
Ooh, that's a good one. And it's typical Carlos, baby. You gonna get to the motherfucking sauce, okay? But if I have to be honest, and I have to be 100% real, I would have to say it would be myself, Shawnie O'Neal, Tammy Roman, Evelyn Lozada. As much as it pains me to say this, I would have to say Jennifer, and that's only right now. Jennifer, I would say Malaysia. Sunday Carter. I always have to include my girl. I think she's amazing. Drea Michelle. Brandy. I'm gonna include Brandy in that. Duffy, definitely. And I think that would have to round out the cast so far. And that's nothing against anybody else that's been on the show.
No.
Angel. I think Angel brings something. And I love her guy. Rockstar, let me tell you.
No, Rockstar's great, yeah.
He's amazing. And you know what, Carlos? He needs his flowers. Because that man, for a guy of reality TV, and I know you don't do much reality TV, but you and him, when I think of reality stars in the male genre, boom.
Oh, he's Rocco's good.
Rockstar is amazing. And so I would have to say that would be my, for now. I mean, and I know a lot of people might take it the wrong way, but I'm just being honest. Boom.
I'm going to give you my list in a second. So,
Okay.
Malaysia is no longer a part of Basketball Wives as of now.
Right.
We would like to see Drea come back.
Yes.
Have you spoken to Drea? Do you think we all can get Drea to replace Malaysia for now?
You know what? I don't know that Drea would come back to Basketball Wives. If there was a situation and then me and her probably sat down and had a conversation, she might consider it. But Drea would be great. Me and her had an awesome, big sister, little sister, love-hate relationship with each other. But, when it's said and done, I have nothing but respect for her. And I think the same with her and me. And I do miss her. I would think it would be great. So yeah, I think there would be a window somewhere, or maybe a different show. I'm doing a bunch of shows right now. So hopefully Drea will be a part of some of those. We'll see.
You're the only basketball wife on the show that is married to a coach. Mm-hmm. Long story short, we saw that Robin Dixon from Potomac, her husband Juan, recently got let go, allegedly, from being a coach from his job. Would you like to see Robin and Juan come on Basketball Wives?
You know what? I think that would be very interesting. And the reason is because he had a career with them for 6 years, I believe it is. Of course, I read up on the story. I wasn't real familiar with them, but of course I seen Coach and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? And I feel really bad for them. And I think telling their story, if it's not going to be on that platform and they could jump over to Basketball Wives, hell yeah, come on. Phaedra is now on Married to Medicine, right? Yes. And I'm like, my girl, I love me some Phaedra. So I'm happy to see she's there. And I think there's room for some movement on some of these other shows. I know Bravo has been known to not take celebrities from other shows. I think that's a mistake on Bravo's point. I think they need to go ahead and open up the doors because we got fans and we got followings and, we got things to say. So hopefully, and I'm not just pitching myself from Atlanta Housewives, but you bring me to that and then we're talking about some,
Would you do Atlanta Housewives?
What? Absolutely. And I don't even live in Atlanta. I would buy a house in Atlanta to do that show. Because you know what? Listen, no, I'm just kidding. I love Basketball Wives. And I know VH1's going to say, what are you talking about? I love my. But I would definitely welcome Juan Dixon and them to our show.
So Robin and Juan Dixon, this is the funny part. And I'm saying this out of love because I love Robin too.
Yes.
I think Robin and Juan are a better fit for Basketball Wives.
Wow. I think
I do because I think Robin will always be in the shadows of Giselle Bryant. And I think if Robin comes to Basketball Wives, it's an opportunity for Robin to stand on her own. And it's an opportunity for Juan to be amongst people in his sport. And I think Doug and Juan will be good friends.
That's amazing. I think listen, Carlos, like I said, you are that person. And I never got to tell you, but I still feel like the next 15 should have continued. And if you ever decide to do it again, you already know who your partner is because listen, that's a great show. And it's showing where people were after reality, whatever, so yeah, definitely. I think it would be great. And if you want to have Juan and them call me.
Okay, well, Robin watches Reality with the King. So Robin, if you are coming back to Potomac, congratulations. If you're not, then girl, call Jackie Christie and we will get you on Basketball Wives, child. Because
we'll call Shawnie.
We'll call Robin, my bad. Robin, my bad. You got to go through Shawnie first, sis. So call Shawnie first, child, and then you gotta make sure you're good. Okay. So, anyways, Jackie Christie, it goes without saying, thank you 7 times over. I had so much fun talking to you. You already know how much we love each other. I am going to post a picture that we took years ago. Me and Jackie's been texting for the past couple of weeks. I'm a huge, huge fan of Basketball Wives. I love the show. Basketball Wives, to me, is an underrated franchise. And I do want this show to really find its footing. And I feel like we're now getting to that point where it is. And I want to say thank you for, listen, I'll say this. Thank you for being the force multiplier and for rallying the troops, having the Ponderosas, because at the end of the day, no one can deny you are fantastic television. And I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for you, my queen.
Thank you so much, Carlos. It has been an honor and a pleasure to sit down with you. I mean, I adore you. With or without this show, you are an amazing person to know, and your energy resonates. And I think that everybody needs to really take notice to this reality star and just television, period, producer and extraordinaire. So I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. You already know I'm a phone call away.
Yes, honey. All right, so tell people they can find you, follow you, and support your many businesses before I let you go.
Thank you. They can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jackie Christie. I've got a lot of TV projects in the works. You already know Basketball Wives Season 10B is airing right now, Monday nights, 8, 7 Central on VH1, BET. And listen, we've got some great things for y'all to find out about us. And then let's see what happens in the future. Some good stuff in the works.
Yes, love you, Jackie.
Love you too.